All right, y'all, you're tuning in to Last Second Sports, and don't tune out because tonight we have the rumor mill and our top 5 free agents that our teams must sign. Stick around.
Yo, welcome back to Last Second Sports, where we giving our takedown to the last second. It's your boy Rad out here in Rip City, Portland, Oregon, repping those Detroit Lions. You know, us versus everybody. But hey, we want to thank y'all for tapping in once again to listen to us two men talk sports. And I got that guy out there on the East Coast repping them San Fran 49ers, my man, Jay Nay. What's happening, Brody?
Yo, what's going on? Hey, real quick, there's a guy in the chat. I'm gonna block you, my man. You got to change that name.
What? 9 drinks?
No, there was another one. Another
one.
Another
Oh,
one.
God.
Another one.
No DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to the chat. We appreciate y'all tapping in. What's up, 9 drinks? What is that? 49ers media. Amin the Dreams. Always in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Always
sir.
in the building.
Happy to see y'all. Hey, so I know that you and I talked about doing top 5 free agents, which we're definitely going to get into. But I'm going to throw something else your way. And you may not have anything that you want to throw out at me. It may not be a lot going on in Lions world. There sure is a lot in 49er land. And I'm blessed because I talk about the 49ers. That's the team that I root for. That's the team that I cover. And they never stop with the content, Rad. There's a lot of things going on right now in San Francisco. Is there anything big going on in Lions world that you want to talk about, or just anything worthwhile?
Like our coaching staff keep getting interviews. Like, Aaron Glenn was down there in New Orleans for the head coaching job. Didn't get it. Cool, because I wanted Aaron Glenn back. But now teams keep trying to pluck at Aubrey Pleasant, our defensive back coach, who's amazing. Came from the Rams. Coached up that secondary, and we got him over here with us, and he's coached up our secondary. He's done a stupendous job. It was Minnesota who was trying to stupendous job. Minnesota was trying to get him. He didn't get that spot. Now New Orleans is flying him back down for a position, and it's like, bro, just leave our coaching staff alone. Like, we only won 3 games, so why do you want to pluck from us? Let us be. We're trying to build something up here, so let us do our thing and leave our people alone. That number 2 pick, that keeps flying around. Should we take Willis, the quarterback from Liberty? No. Then is it Aiden Hutchinson, Kyle Hamilton, or Kayvon Thibodeau? And I'm torn between Hutchinson and Hamilton. And I think I might be leading a little bit more towards Kyle Hamilton. I don't know. I just did a mock draft and I took him. But mainly that's about it. Just our coaching staff.
Big news. That's a lot. Yeah.
Getting plucked. I'm tired of it. Like, leave our coaching staff alone and let our guys continue to grow with the coaches we have. And then we just got over the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of guys out there. I know that you're gonna be doing a breakdown of a guy here soon that is the darling of 49ers social media right now, and Christian Watson. So I'm curious to see what you come away with as far as what type of player he is and where he may fall. But there's a lot going on in San Francisco. So first of all, Mike McDaniel got a head coaching job. You obviously saw that. He's in Miami. They brought in Anthony Lynn, who I know just came from your staff, which for us is perfect because we need somebody to be a run game coordinator, and we just lost ours. So now we've got Anthony Lynn. So that's a perfect fit there. Wes Welker just left to go with Mike McDaniel, and the coaching staff's been plucked apart. Multiple guys that coach offensive line, our special teams coordinator, really a lot of pieces. Rumor is that Vic Fangio is met with the 49ers and looking at possibly being an advisory role for the 49ers on the defensive side, which I would love. Vic Fangio is a stud. Absolutely love him. So there's some things going on with our coaching staff as well. And then the other big rumor is, well, 2 of them really. One is Tom Brady may be willing to come out of retirement only to play for the 49ers. That was his hometown team growing up.
What?
He was in the documentary for Joe Montana. You watch the documentary, please. Please watch the documentary.
I haven't watched it.
You've got to watch it. I promise you will have a whole
Is it
new
that nice?
love and respect for Joe. It's not quite to the level. You like The Last Dance, right? Who didn't like The Last Dance?
Yeah, The Last Dance was nice. Yeah.
It's not quite to that level, but it's pretty close, man. It really is. It was very well done. You get to see what type of quarterback Joe Montana is. I'll give you a little teaser. Last episode, they were talking about, how he went on to Kansas City and left the 49ers and whatnot. Obviously, Steve Young took over and they won a Super Bowl. And Joe Montana basically towards the end says something along the lines of, yeah, no, I mean, it was great for Steve. I'm happy that he won a Super Bowl ring, but if they'd kept me around, they would have had more than one. Like that's just the type of player he was. So, I mean, absolute killer. Definitely worth watching. But Tom Brady makes multiple appearances. He was at a lot of those big games growing up. Huge 49er fan. I mean, you can just tell he stands out for the 49ers and Joe Montana in particular. So yeah, that rumor got started. I don't know if it has legs or what have you, but obviously it's been talked about here in 49er. What are your thoughts? So if Tom Brady came knocking, let me lay out this scenario to you. It's not just Tom Brady or Trey Lance. Here's the way it would work. Whatever capital you're going to get for Jimmy Garoppolo, rumor is second round pick is what they're looking to get. Let's say you could get that for Garoppolo. So they would have to give up Garoppolo to bring back Brady. So they're foregoing a second round pick. You're sitting Trey Lance for an extra year, right? And not developing him by playing him. And you're going to miss out on one of your guys that you want to keep, whether it's Tomlinson at right guard or DJ Jones, somebody like that, because you got to pay Brady, then you were not expecting to do that. Or you can just stay with the course, play Trey Lance, and build the team around him. What are you doing?
I'm taking the GOAT. I'm gonna rock with Brady for at least 1 year. He may come back for a second. You never know. 1 year.
That's the problem, right?
Yep. I get it's slowing up the process of your boy Trey Day, but at the same time, he gets to sit behind the greatest of all time to do it, soak up some knowledge from him, pick Brady's brain. Brady can teach him how to be a pro quarterback, how to break down film, how he should be practicing, how he should take care of his body, all that stuff. I would love to have Brady for one season to have Trey Lance just soak up any and everything he can from him. I'm doing it. Yeah, you're going to forego some stuff and miss out on re-signing some people, but you're getting Brady, and then now I say just adding Brady, you already guaranteed to go back to the NFC Championship. So I'm going to do that. And then I got my young QB sitting behind the GOAT. What?
Yeah, it's hard 100%. To say no.
Breaking down film with Tom Brady and teaching you all the ins and outs and nuances. What? 100%. That's what I know. This is off top. I don't even know if Tampa really should be panicking on getting a quarterback. Kyle Trask was we was on Trask train, and he just got to sit behind Brady for a whole year. I don't even know if I would panic yet. Now, if somebody like Aaron Rodgers wants to show up or something like that, okay, cool. But I don't think Tampa should panic. Trask was a good quarterback, and I thought he was a solid. You know how we on our last channel we was high on Kyle Trask, and he ended up in a great situation.
Yep.
But no, to answer your question, I'm taking Brady 100%. And to answer your question, Steeler Nation, no, not at all.
We may not get to it tonight. Mock drafting maybe tonight. We'll probably end up doing it next week. We'll see how time goes here. If we're only around 25 minutes when we're done talking here, maybe we'll sneak in a mock. But I'm curious to see what you're looking to get, because I think Malik Willis for you guys for that second first round pick, I wouldn't be mad at it as a Lions fan. I really wouldn't. Have you watched a lot of Malik Willis or no?
I haven't. I mean, I tapped into one Senior Bowl practice, and then I watched most of the Senior Bowl. I mean, I got to see him play. I mean, yeah, he's good at scrambling. Everybody knew that's what he was. Mm-hmm. Arm is live. He got a live arm. Accuracy, some issues. Mm-hmm. But that's not the quarterback that, if we're going to take a quarterback, that's not the one I want so far. The one I want is Sam Howell, North Carolina.
Okay.
Live arm, mobile. He's played at a higher level. Like, nah, I'm on Howell, but I haven't dug deep into the quarterbacks besides what went on at the Senior Bowl and things like that. So I
You
don't
better
really
start diving deep into those.
We're not
you guys
taking
need a
the
quarterback. Yes,
I don't think we're doing it. I don't think we're doing it just yet.
You think? What do? You gonna do it next year? Is that what you think?
That's what I think. Like, why do it? Because we got Goff, and this is what I think. By us drafting a quarterback in the first round, that's gonna mess up Goff's mental. Like, he just left.
He's not
he
the
just
future
left
anyways.
He just left a situation where they was just tired of him, and he felt like he wasn't welcome. Now, we bring him over here, and we're gonna say he the guy, he this and that, he did that and that. And now we draft a quarterback. Now he looking over his shoulder every week, which is cool. I want to start competition. We should be competing, have some competitive competition going at every position. But Goff's weak, bro. Like, he's kind of soft-minded. Like, we don't really need him looking over his shoulder. You just focus on the defense that you're going against this week. And Goff didn't have that many pieces around him this year. Offensive line got broke down. So I'm not gonna say I'm a huge Goff fan. No, I'm sitting about that 50-50 with him. This is the year where you're gonna have to prove it. We're getting Frank the Tank back, your all-pro center. Taylor Decker's gonna play all year, and we're gonna get some pieces around you. So now, Goff, this is the year to show up. But no, I don't want to draft that.
No. Hold on. Kim says, Rad, why you think the Lions been rebuilding the last 20 years? Why can't they get it right ever? Why is that?
The people up top. It's just, owner bringing in terrible GMs. Sewell's not a bust. You might want to go. You might want to go check some numbers. It's just the people up top.
We appreciate you, LaKendrick. That's the only simple answer, right? It has to be. They've screwed it up all the way through. They just know.
But this rebuild, I'm really believe in this like regime right here. Like, I'm a diehard Lions fan, but like it feels a little different.
Changed. That's why
up top has changed for sure. Yeah. We got a good GM. We nailed the draft. I like Campbell. He's fiery. Like, no, it feels different. Why are you laughing, man? I'm Rad is a bust. You know what? That's okay.
Oh my lord. Well, here's the other rumor that came out when not a rumor. It's not a rumor at all. It actually was said. Speaking of Joe Montana, speaking of Tom Brady, Joe Montana came out and said that he believes that Trey Lance isn't ready. And in talking to people in that locker room, he believes he's not ready and he needs to sit another year.
Really?
I wholeheartly disagree with him, but yeah.
Is that what Joe Montana said, huh?
That's what Joe Montana said, yeah.
You have to chill with the Lions hate. Yeah, see? I like 49ers, man. So with all the hate, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Tommy says he's just trolling, man.
I know he is, bro. Like, it's number love. Hey, it's number love. I appreciate everybody tapping in. Y'all can say what you want. You know what I mean? I'm here to have a good time. It's number love. Lions, Niners, we united. We kind of a unit. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take a couple of y'all wins off y'all record and put them on ours. Like, we kind of like a...
We're a tandem here.
Yeah, we kind of... Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to put our wins together. So technically, we made it to the playoffs, too.
Yeah. How many wins you guys have?
So what are we talking about tonight?
Did you guys have 3, 4? No, for real. I'm asking how many.
I thought you wanted to be funny. And we just talked about the hate.
No,
we had 3 in one tie.
Okay. So, I mean,
I'm counting that Ravens game as a win too. He shouldn't have hit that 66-yard field goal.
Yeah, that was pretty insane.
I'm counting that as a win. What's happening, Zach?
Pretty insane. That's pretty insane. Yeah. I mean, sure, man. We're like the millionaire, and you're the other part of the relationships. Like, well, I'm a school teacher. Here's my $60,000 a year, and we're like, yeah, we make millions. We don't. Thanks, honey. I appreciate it.
There's nothing wrong with school teachers. We need school teachers.
Not. But when you're a millionaire, I don't need your 60,000. Like, just go donate time.
Oh my Lord. Anyways, man.
Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. All right. So last week we talked about what our team should do with the players that are currently on the roster. Who should they bring back? What does that look like? So naturally this week we take the next step. That's why I think we should mock next week, because it's a natural progression we're doing here, right? We talked
Natural.
about who we should keep, who we should let go. We talked about what that money situation looks like. Now we're going to talk about 5 free agents that we want to target. And then naturally next week we'll draft. So we've already kind of come up with our early off-season plan that we can always circle back and adjust as we see fit, as we start to learn more players and see who gets signed and whatnot. But I think it's a natural progression. So I would say let's just
let it happen organically.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that word better.
I don't want to rush into things. I don't want to rush in.
Organically.
Yeah, for sure.
Organically.
Tommy wants to know what's your record next year?
The floor is going to be 10 wins, 10-7. That's the floor. Ceiling. Hey, my guys in the building. Floor 10 wins, ceiling 12.
You know what? I love the optimism. I love the optimism.
This is me being real, man. I'm being real with you. We was in dang near every game. Mm-hmm. We got blown out, I think, 3 times. Like, we really should have had about 6 wins this year, 7 wins this year. And we're about to get better. Like, we're getting better. I told you, we had Walmart cashiers playing in the secondary. Right. We did, bro. Like, our O-line was beat up. They never got to get the whole O-line back. We're about to build a receiving core around Goff. We're going to put them pieces around Goff because he needs a perfect storm. And we're about to just bring in a bunch of defensive talent. Like I said, 10 wins minimum. There you go, to answer the question.
All right.
Vrabel won Coach of the Year. Hey,
it looks like the football awards are going on right now. I could care less, to be real.
Because your Niners are out. It's okay.
Is that okay? It's a little weird.
We're
right?
unit. One of our teams is out. Like, we're a unit. Let me go back to
one of our teams. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. One of our teams is out. I don't care about them awards.
Darn it, man. We don't care. Yeah, but isn't that strange how that works out, though? Because I know when the 49ers don't make the playoffs, I care all the way through. Like, I'm invested. I got a team that I'm rooting for or a player I'm rooting for, and I stick through it. But when my team's in it, and then they lose, I just stop caring. I don't care what happens in the Super Bowl. I forgot the Super Bowl was 4 days away, to be real with you, or 3 days away, or whatever it is. I didn't even think about it. So don't care. Don't care. Ready to move on. Let's go.
You're not rooting for the Rams?
No, I don't care who wins. I don't care. I'm rooting for the Bengals because I want Hassan to be happy, but I don't care. I don't. But you're in the other spot, right? Where your team didn't make it. So you're more invested. Like, I think it's a natural thing that happens. Or maybe it's just me. I don't know. I feel like it's a natural thing that happens with fans.
Well, yeah, I feel you. I get what you're saying, but it's kind of like my quarterback made it. Like, after this season, I'm going to let go of Matt Stafford, but still I feel like I'm kind of attached to Matt Stafford just a little bit. Okay. And then on the last channel, I was saying the Rams is going to win the Super Bowl, this and that. So I got to stick to it. And I'm rooting for my guy. And like you said, I do want my guy Hassan, the Bengals, because he's, that's my boy to the end of the time. Mm-hmm. But Matt Stafford need to go and get it so he can be in the Hall of Fame. Because once he gets the Super Bowl, he's a Hall of Famer. Not going to say a first ballot, but he's going to get in the Hall of Fame. Lock it in.
They said Willis didn't make it. Wow, that's... Jeez. Okay.
What? Say it again. Who?
Patrick Willis didn't make the Hall of Fame. That's what they
really
just said. Yeah, in the chat.
He'll get in. He'll get in.
He needs to get in.
Was this his first year up or no? This one is first year up. It's gonna.
Yeah, it was. No, it was his first.
It was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Him and Calvin retired the same. He retired a year after Calvin.
I think it was right around that same time. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 14 or something like that. Dose of Dion, what's up, man? Speaking of optimism, geez, I caught the end of your guys' stream. Dose, we got to talk. You need an intervention, my guy.
About what? Was it golf?
Yes.
Oh gosh.
But he asked if Lance is next up. Hopefully Lance is next up. We were just talking about how the rumor mill is Tom Brady might end up in San Francisco. We'll see how that happens. But Dose. I'm not even going to talk about it over here. I don't even want these guys to be on you in the chat. But man, you're Mr. Optimism. Let me tell you, you are Mr. Optimism, and I appreciate it. Let's get into this.
All you Niner fans, make sure you go to subscribe to my guy's channel, Dose of Dion 2.0.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, here's the deal. I'm definitely rooting for Lance. Like, Lance is my guy. I pegged him in the draft. I wanted him tough last year, and I'm happy that they got him. I want Lance to be the guy, but if it's Lance or Tom Brady, for a season, it's kind of hard to say no to Tom Brady. So we'll see. I doubt it happens, but I'm expecting Lance to be the starter, and I'm excited for it for sure. Yes, Lance is that deal. All right, let's jump into these free agents. So again, last week we talked about, so if you guys missed that episode, go back, check out last week. We talked about who our team should keep, who they should resign, what the salary cap looks like, some guys that they should cut or restructure, trade, what have you. And now we're talking about free agents that are going to be on the open market. So, with that being said, who's the first free agent that you want your Lions to go out and make a run after?
Safety down in New Orleans, Marcus Williams.
Okay,
I want him. He's already got ties with our defense coordinator, Aaron Glenn. Now, the only thing about that, it's time for him to get paid because Marcus Williams has had a solid career since he's entered the NFL. If y'all don't remember, he was the safety that whiffed on that tackle in the Minnesota Miracle. Remember that when he could have made that tackle? It looked bad, but he's had a good career.
Rookie, wasn't he a rookie?
Yeah, he was a rookie.
Yeah, I remember that.
But he was playing at a very high level, and he continued to play at a high level. That's why I want us to go target from day one to pair up with because I want us to re-sign Tracy Walker. That's what I want to go get from day one is the safety Marcus Williams. He's already used to the defensive scheme, tone setter. I like him. You pair him and Tracy up, now we have a good duo in the back end of that defense at that point.
Yeah, you definitely.
Marcus Williams. He's just gonna cost anywhere from 12 to 15 million, and I don't know if I would say he's a top 8 safety in the NFL, but it's just I don't know. When you get to thinking those type of numbers, I want you to be like a Troy Polamalu or like a Ed Reed for sure when you're making that big of money. You know what I mean? And he's not on that level, but he is a really, really, really good safety. So that's why I want us to target day one. Hopefully I wake up day one, Bleach Report notification say we signed Marcus Williams.
Okay, I like
Who
it.
you got?
I like it a lot.
Who's your day one? Who's that number one?
Well, we'll get into it in a second, but Amin the Dream wants to know thoughts on Montana saying Lance isn't ready. Here's what I'm going to say to that. Love Joe Montana, obviously the best quarterback in 49er history, built this team into what it is. I absolutely love him for that. But just because you are a great player doesn't mean that you're a good talent evaluator. Michael Jordan's a great example of that. So I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. Really? The great Jay says Tyrann Mathieu, Devontae Adams, Chandler Jones, J.C. Jackson, Orlando Brown. Yeah, no, I would love all those guys too. My list is going to be very different just because I know that we don't have money for these types of guys, and it's very unrealistic that any of these guys happen. J.C. Jackson, I think, is probably the most realistic, but J.C. Jackson is probably going to get the bag, if not a franchise tag to stay in New England. One thing we do know about New England is they pay corners. They're very different than San Francisco. San Francisco is more we build from the line out. Corners we'll just kind of piece together. New England is the opposite of that. They think corners should be number one priority. So I would be shocked if they don't bring back J.C. Jackson one way or another. For me, I talked about it last week because we did give the one guy that we want to go after. So my number one guy that I'm going after is Cordero Patterson. I'm letting Mostert walk just because I know that Mostert can't stay healthy. I understand that the reason that Debo got his carries this year is because they needed that explosion out of the backfield. Mostert was supposed to be that guy, and he was not able to stay healthy. I wanted Cordero Patterson last year. I was banging the drum for him on our channel and on Grant's channel, and it just never came to fruition. But I got the confirmation I needed. When they played the Falcons towards the tail end of the year, that question was actually brought up to Shanahan, and Shanahan says he's gone after Patterson multiple times and was close, but was unable to land him. So that tells me that he also sees the vision, and him taking those 8 or so carries, being able to play that Debo Samuel role, also shoring up the kick return game would be huge for this team. So I think that Patterson would be a must get. Like I said, last season, wanted him in the offseason. He stuck around way too long, would have been cheap on a 1-year deal, and they were just unable to make it happen. But if they can make it happen this year, I think that's a guy that I would definitely want to have for sure. Who's the second guy on your list?
Now, I think they're both one. If you get one or the other, then that's going to dictate how our draft goes. So if we don't land Marcus Williams, I want to go get Hassan Reddick. I want to
Okay,
get him
I
from.
like yes.
I want Hassan Reddick. That man's been applying pressure the last 2 seasons, and I knew he was a good backer / edge rusher. He was really an edge coming out of college, but then Arizona moved him off ball to play linebacker, and that's not that. That just wasn't him. And finally, the last year in Arizona, they move him to the edge. The guy gets 12 sacks. Then he goes over to Carolina, bounce back this year, has 11 and a half sacks. I like Hassan Reddick. He's a bit undersized, but he gets after the quarterback, and that's what Detroit needs. We need to get after the quarterback. That's somebody I want to target also that day one. Like if we can shoot for Marcus Williams or Hassan Reddick, I want to go either way because then that's going to dictate what I'm going to do with that number 2 pick. Because if we get Marcus Williams, then I don't want Kyle Hamilton. I want Aiden Hutchinson. If we get Hassan Reddick, I don't need Aiden Hutchinson. I want to get Kyle Hamilton. So those are the 2 that I am going after day one. I'm on the phone trying to get either Hassan Reddick or Marcus Williams because that's going to dictate what I'm going to do with that number 2 pick. Hassan Reddick for the Carolina Panthers, edge rusher. He didn't have, 23 and a half sacks in 2 seasons. Yeah. And he's only 27 years old, so we can get him for at least a three-year deal. Now, he's going to need to get paid, and I'm fine with that. Like, if he wants to get 10 to 12 million a year, cool. He's an edge rusher.
Yeah, for sure. I have no issue with that. You've been talking him up for a few years before he even actually blew 2 years ago. You talked about it. You said, hey, he's been playing out of position. If they moved him to the right position, I think he'd be a great player. And you were dead on with that. So credit to you for that. Obviously, these are conversations that happen behind closed doors, but I remember that conversation very vividly. So yeah, you've been on that train for a while. So you saw the vision before it actually happened. And now that it's happened twice, you're just sticking with that vision that you saw all along.
And he's going to get paid finally too.
He will.
And I don't mind if you pay him.
But you guys can pay him. You guys can afford it. Like you guys can afford
one big name we can go get. If it's anywhere from 10 to 15, we can do that.
Yep. So I like that name. I think it's great. Ken says how much for Patterson? Well, he made around $3 million last year. I would imagine 2-year, $12 million, $8 million guaranteed probably gets a deal done, to be real. I don't think anybody's going to pay him big money. And I think that's fair for a 31-year-old guy. I think that's totally fair. So I think Patterson can get done for around 2-year, 12, 8 guaranteed. That's the way that I see it. So I'm also going after a pass rusher, but not on the same level. I'm going after a guy that's a veteran. Most of my guys are 1-2 year plays, but a guy that has won some rings now, can bring some leadership, can help anchor that opposite side of Bosa for a season, maybe while they draft a rookie and develop them or what have you. And, I would like to bring guys back like Arden Key, but if not, I'm not too worried about it. I'm looking at Jason Pierre-Paul, 33 years old. Pass rushers last in this league now. They can play for a while. So he's the type of guy that you can move inside on pass rush downs. You can keep him on the outside to contain the edge on run downs. I like what he brings to the table. Again, multiple time champion, and won't be too expensive. Like he's one of those guys that's just not going to get paid a lot, but he's going to want to go to a winner. He's going to want to go compete. And I think that's a name that the 49ers certainly can land if they miss out on some of those other guys in keeping.
Okay. I mean, I like that. You've talked about that. And I feel like,
and again, these are budget guys, right? Like I'm more,
you're trying to fit them in the cap.
Budget. Yeah, I got to fit it into the cap. Patterson probably a little bit more, right? Like he, maybe a little bit more than we can afford or would be willing to pay. But if you're going to splurge, quote unquote, splurge on somebody, that's who I would want them to splurge on for sure.
I can dig that. I can dig it.
Who's your third guy?
This is gonna be like the day 2. Now we're gonna fall into that day 2. Now I feel like we need a burner on the outside for Jared Goff.
I like it.
Now I want to say it. If this guy can stay healthy, I think he'd be huge for our offense, and that's Will Fuller. I want Will Fuller.
I almost put Will Fuller on my list. I like where your head's at here.
Will Fuller. When Will Fuller is healthy, he's one of the better deep threats in the NFL. Let's be real. When he's healthy, though, that's the availability is the thing with him. But when available, he's a top tier deep threat. And I feel like that's what we're missing in Detroit. One of the pieces. That's instantly going to ignite the offense because now you got to keep a safety high because Will Fuller will burn most corners. Let's keep it real. He will burn them. And that's just going to help out the guy behind me, St. Brown on the underneath routes, TJ Hawkinson. He's just going to open up the offense a little bit more. Even the run game, because now you can't play 8 in the box because we got a guy on the edge over here who running a 4.340 legit and can catch the deep ball very well. Now, he got $10 million out of Miami net last year. I think he's going to be a lot cheaper than that because he only played 2 games last year. So you can't come back asking for another $10 million when you only played 2 games. I'd like to get him somewhere into that 5, at the most 7 million a year, and we could put him on a prove-it contract also. I'm not saying we need to lock him in for no 3 or 4 years, but put him on a 1-year deal to prove that you can be healthy and you can help ignite this offense. And I'm all about going to get Will Fuller on that day too. That's a guy I want.
I look at it and I say definitely injury prone. And obviously, everybody tapped on it in the chat. You tapped on it, but maybe you guys get lucky. We made the same gamble with a guy like Verrett. Now it worked fantastically for us 2 years ago or last season. But this season it bit us in the butt a little bit. But because he was injury prone, we never paid a lot of money. When he played, he showed he was one of those top guys. So yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you just got to take gambles on guys like that. So your gamble is on Fuller. As long as you don't have a team made up of injury prone guys, then I have no issue with it. So I like Will Fuller.
We kind of do though.
But we'll see. We do too, and that's why I didn't put him on my list. I'll give you a guy. Now I'm not going to go in any order for the rest of these guys. I'm just going to give you names now to wrap this up. But for me, I took him off my list, and you know who I put on, but similar player. A little bit older, but probably has been healthier. He's had some injury issues, but he's been healthier. Probably will be pretty cheap as well. Deshaun Jackson. The 49ers do need a deep threat. That's one thing they do not have is they don't have that pure burner. Now, D-Jax is going to play next year at 36 years old, but he's still fast, man. Yeah, I mean, he'll take the top off now, especially if he's in the slot or he's up against number 2, number 3 corners. Like he'll take the top off still. So for me, 1-year deal, I wouldn't mind bringing in somebody like D-Jack. Now, the only issue I have with D-Jack is he did force his way out of the Rams, it sounds like, because he wasn't getting the ball enough. That looks stupid now because you could have possibly won a Super Bowl. But, if he's going to want the ball a ton, then this is not the place for him because we got Debo, we got Ayuk, we got Kittle, and we got a quarterback who's in his first year starting that's probably not going to throw the ball more than 22 to 25 times a game on a regular basis. So those looks are not going to be there for you. But if you're looking to win, then come on over to San Francisco. We got you. We got you. So, that's the way I see it. But for him, and the reason I said him after Patterson is because I have a name. I got a bonus name I'm going to throw in at the end here, who, if we don't get D-Jack or we don't get Patterson, a name that we can get that can fill either or both of those roles. So that's my bonus tip for you.
Okay.
Who's your next guy?
My next, I'm gonna give a shout out to my guy Dosa Dion. He's go check out his video on this guy, Jordan Whitehead from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, safety.
Yes,
he's a baller, bro. Like he be all over the field, and he just plays. I don't want to say he reminds me of Palomalu, but his the way he just read and reacts. Like once he sees the ball, he gets the ball very fast. Very fast. So that's a guy I kind of want to look at safety because he can play high, low, and he gets to the football. And I watched my guy's video on him, and I remember when he was coming out of college. I just didn't really keep up with him after he made it and went to the Buccaneers. But he's out there making plays and making tackles, and the guy moves around very well. And that'd be a day 2 guy I'd like to, probably target if, say, we don't get a Marcus Williams. That's a backup plan by bringing in Jordan Whitehead. So that's somebody I would like to hit up too.
No, I like it. Kim says, wasn't D-Jack on the Rams? Yeah, he was on the Rams, and then he ended up finishing the season with the Raiders after everything went down with their young wide receiver. So, yeah, but he played pretty well with the Raiders in spots. He showed he has all the speed in the world. He actually looked kind of clean in that Raider uniform, man. He was kind of swagged out in that thing. I'm not going to lie. Miliano says, Can't believe Djax is already 36. Seems like just yesterday when he was dropping the ball inches from crossing the goal line in the end zone and premature celebrations. Yeah, it does seem like just yesterday, doesn't it? And then Hungry Panda says, everyone knows they want Khalif Raymond in the 49ers. No, that's a name that I looked at as well. Absolutely. I
He's
like
solid.
It. I don't mind him. I mean, he's not, listen,
he's solid.
You don't need, it's not like these guys that we're talking about are not like our top tier guys.
You're talking about. I'm talking about.
You are. We're in different. Listen, we're in different levels now. We're in different levels with our.
No, we're a unit. We're a unit.
Right, I got it. Yeah, we're a unit. Thanks for your 3 wins, man. Okay. So the next guy I'm going to talk about here, 30-year-old corner. Again, I want Verrett to walk. He's just proven he can't stay healthy. He's going to be 31 himself. And I want a guy who can come in and push Ambry Thomas. I'm not saying start over Ambry because I like what Ambry brings, but I want somebody that can push him and somebody that can fill in if need be. And to me, that's Kyle Fuller. He's going to play this next season at 30. He's always been very healthy, former All-Pro, very, very good corner. And, he may have had a bit of a down year in Denver, but I trust in him full-heartedly, and I think he would be great for this team. So Kyle Fuller, absolutely, come on over. You can be a 49er, no doubt about it. And Jamal already knew. He already knew where I was going. We talk about this, so he was ready to rock. Who's your next guy?
I'm going back down to Tampa Bay. I want to pluck OJ Howard tight end. I feel like he ain't got his time to shine. He was a top tier tight end coming out of Alabama. Mm-hmm. We need somebody to push TJ Hockenson. I like TJ Hockenson, but I feel he still can go to another level with his game. And having a guy like OJ Howard who's competing with him just because iron sharpens iron, and he needs to know that, hey, if you out here messing up, we'll just plug in OJ Howard. And I like OJ Howard. I think he'll be a good fit for us. Tight end. And we can get him on a cheapo deal. Go ahead.
Evan Ingram. What about him?
Evan Ingram. I don't know, man. He's sometimey. I like Evan Ingram. He's more of an athlete than OJ Howard. But I want to see OJ Howard. Like, I've kind of seen what Ingram can do. And I think he had like a good, was it sophomore season?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I'm going to go OJ Howard. And hit that like button below, please. Everybody show us some love.
That like button, he says. I like it. Well, you just said no to Ingram, so I think you're, for the same reasons, you're going to say no to this guy. But Jamal wants to know David Njoku.
He's sometimey too. I'd rather have David Njoku over Ingram.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I would.
All right.
OJ Howard ain't had his chance to shine. Gronk coming in, splitting time with Braid. Like, it's just, come on up here, baby. We're gonna get you. I don't know if Jared Goff gonna get him the ball, but we'll try. He'll throw him an inaccurate duck.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will.
Sorry, y'all.
The great JM says Casey Hayward. I like Casey Hayward a lot, but he's a little long in the tooth for me. I'm good there. He's like going to be like 34 this year, I think. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like 33, 34-ish. Zach says Gerald Everett. What about him?
That's not a bad option too. That's not a bad option. I'd like a Gerald Everett also. That's okay. Thank you, Zach.
I like it. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So for me, Jimmy G's gone. You're going to need some sort of backup quarterback. And listen, he may be too expensive. A lot of people are talking about, other quarterbacks. But for me, I think the perfect backup for Trey Lance would be Marcus Mariota. Now, obviously, I'm an Oregon Duck guy, so I got to see him in college. Always love what he brings to the table for that. I never expected him to be really good when he got to the pros, but the one thing that he can bring, Tyrod Taylor, that's a name, and Cam Newton, these are names that I've heard a lot. But for me, I think the reason that Mariota is perfect is because he's gone through that stress. Trubisky would be another one. I'd be cool with Trubisky for the same reason that I like Mariota now. He's gone through the stress of being a high draft pick, having a franchise thrust onto his shoulders, not being able to perform under the pressure, and not because they they can't perform under the pressure, but ultimately they just weren't those guys, right? But they can be mentors in that mental capacity for Trey Lance. I mean, not everything's going to go perfect for Trey Lance. He's going to have his ups and his downs. And when he does, he's going to need a veteran there and somebody that's gone through that. I think is perfect to kind of walk him through those ups and downs and just let him know, hey, it's going to be all right. Don't worry about it. Walk him through film sessions and all those other things. So I would love to have Mariota. And then the other thing is, if Trey missed a couple games, I would be very confident in the Marcus Mariota coming in and playing some good football. So Marcus Mariota to me is the perfect backup for Trey Lance, I believe.
What about Teddy Two Gloves Bridgewater?
I mean, he's cool, but
I just like saying the name.
I know. I like Two Gloves as well. I would prefer, and I think both these guys might be too expensive. So again, Mariota may be too expensive, but Trubisky for sure, I would love to have. But again, I think that he's probably going to be too expensive as well. But for the same reason I like Mariota, I'd also like Trubisky.
Okay. And my last hitter, he was an ex-Niner. Off-ball linebacker, inside linebacker, Quan Alexander.
Okay.
Get a veteran. He's been in the league. I think he's still, 27, 28 years old. A thumper. He needs to stay healthy. He had a solid season with the Saints, so, we can plug him with Aaron Glenn, see if we can plug him, possibly come in and push for a starting position, because we are going to be losing a lot of off-ball linebackers. And Quan Alexander's had some good years. Let's be real. He has had some good years.
Yes,
with the Niners,
for sure.
He didn't really, I think y'all drafted somebody who pretty much outplayed him. Like, he got hurt, if I remember.
Yeah.
He got hurt, but he just outplayed him. He didn't get his spot back. Quan Alexander, somebody I want to target on like that day 3, a couple days after free agency started, and we can get him for the low and put him on like another prove-it deal, 1-year deal, 2-year deal, and getting about $2 to $3 million a year. Like, we don't have to overpay him at all. And he had a solid year last year, 70-some tackles. I think 4 sacks. So he's not like a bad linebacker, and he can come in and compete for a starting job. So Quan Alexander will be round out my top 5 list.
And he's a leader too.
Good plug and play players right there. My list is beautiful.
It is. It's a good list. He's a leader. He is a leader, and he's a vocal leader. The only problem with Quan is you'll be very frustrated because dude plays extremely hard, but man, he runs himself out of place sometimes. Like he looks so lost on the field. It's the weirdest thing. But you'll like his energy. You'll like his leadership. You will like some of those big hits. And, I think he would be good for you guys. I really do. It's not like you're relying on him to be the best guy in the world, but he's good, but he also he'll make some real dumb mistakes. You'll be watching film and be like, what the? Especially you, because you played linebacker. Like, what is he doing right now? What is going on? So you'll be frustrated at times, but he's cool. Jamal Armstrong. I don't know why I said your last name. What's up, Jamal? Tyrod has proven to be a high-level backup. I just got into show mode for a second. I feel a bit more confident in him leading an offense for a couple games than Mariota, but not by a crazy amount. I feel it. I wouldn't be mad at Tyrod. I kind of expect Tyrod to be the guy, if I'm being real, just because we obviously brought in his ex-coach and Lynn, and he's been in that role. So I have a feeling he'll probably end up being the guy, and I won't be mad at it. I just think, and I think he would. He'd be a fine mentor and all that. I just think there's something to having a franchise thrown at your feet and expected to be a guy and turning things around and being able to work through that, especially if you failed at it. I think that's a really good lesson that you can teach Trey Lance. And let's be real. I mean, Trey's going to know the offense better than any of these guys coming in anyways. So it's not like they're going to be able to really break things down for him and whatever there. Now they'll help him in the film room for sure. After games and things he missed and all that. But I'm looking more just for like that kind of off-field mentorship, right? And being able to understand what he's going through. And that's why I'm real big on Mariota and or Trubisky for sure.
I can dig that.
All right. And then the last name, it's a bonus name. I know we were only supposed to do 5, but I'm doing what you usually do, and I'm breaking the rules. And the reason I brought this guy out is because, again,
you know what? I am a habitual rule breaker. Okay.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Like,
I am.
hey, all right, we're gonna do top 5 list, best running backs all time. Brad comes in. So I got a list of 7, and they're my favorite running backs. So they're not necessarily the best guys, but like they're the guys that I like. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
bro. Like,
Clinton Porter's
we're on
name
different
had to be
pages,
mentioned.
clearly.
I needed to mention Clinton Porter's, okay? I needed that.
We're on completely different pages. All right, so I'm gonna name the 5 best running backs of all time, and you're gonna name 5 guys you like, and one of them was a guy that never broke 1,000 yards in a 6-year career. But
hey, he had
he's
good
your
vision.
favorite.
He had good vision. Quick feet. Okay.
Dude.
Hey,
He's this guy.
but
Anyways,
I'm happy you said that because I do have an extra person I like to talk about.
I bet
No,
you
I'm
do.
playing. I'm playing.
You can go over there. Yeah, all right, all
Go
right.
play.
Golly. All right. So my extra guy, and the reason I brought him in is because I mentioned Cordarrelle Patterson and I mentioned Deshaun Jackson as guys. This guy can fill not fully the Patterson role, but from a special team standpoint, he certainly can. And the deep threat role of Deshaun Jackson. So if we miss out on either of those guys or both of them, a guy I would like to bring in is he actually just came off of a Pro Bowl.
Ted Ginn Jr.
Oh, Jakeem Grant. Yeah, but same difference. They're the same guy, basically. They're the same guy. Let's be real. Yeah. Well, Ginn was probably a little bit better receiver, but Jakeem Grant, man. Pro Bowler, absolute stud. That's something that the 49ers have been missing for a while now. A good punt returner or kick returner, and Jakeem Grant's definitely that. So I would, if we miss out on Jackson or Patterson, that would be a guy that I would absolutely love to bring in for sure.
I can dig it. What about Jamarcus Russell?
Yep. Again, here we go.
What,
let's
man?
just make sure we didn't miss any comments here.
I want to talk about Jamarcus Russell.
My Lord. Montana just wants to make sure that no one is wearing the red and gold surpasses his no interception record for the Super Bowl. It's very understandable. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. Weird timing. Come on, Montana. You know better than that. Rad wants Trent Richardson to play running back.
I don't think I threw Trent Richardson out there, but yeah,
No,
man.
you
Hey,
really didn't.
You know what? I do what I want. I am a habitual rule breaker.
You remember the old
Rule
school
bender.
commercials? You remember the old school commercials? It was like, this is what you could get with Dish, or this is what it looks like with cable. And it was like one was really good, one was really bad. I remember somebody made the meme, and it was Trent Richardson at Alabama. Like, this is what you get with Dish. And then it was like him in a Cleveland Browns jersey, and like, this is what you get with cable. He was so bad, dude. He was so
Trent
bad.
Richardson. Oh Lord, that's sad. What happened to him?
Yeah, whatever. He fell off, and then he went to like the XFL or something. It was
He played again somewhere else.
No, it was like the AAF or something. And he was horrible over there too. Gosh, man, what a fall from glory, that poor guy. There's a lot of them. Oh,
Gerald McCoy.
Christian Kirk. That's another one. What do you think about Christian Kirk? This is a Lion guy telling you.
I like Christian Kirk. I just don't know where he's going. Whose position he's going to take, because he's not taking St. Brown's. We getting Quintez Cephas back, who showed that he could be our number one. We need a burner. I want a burner. Will Fuller's the guy I want. I want us to target Will Fuller, and I feel like we can get him for the low ski boski.
What about Alan Lazard?
Nope, I don't want him. Nope.
Right. AGB says, or AJB rather, the letters, they're hard. Fangio back. Yeah. Fangio looks like he might be in an advisory role for the 49ers. I absolutely love it. Definitely excited about that. Look, I think I just got an alert on my phone saying that Aaron Rodgers won the MVP. So no surprise there.
He won it. Brady didn't win it.
I think so. You guys keep me honest. I
Chad,
swear.
Did Brady, who got MVP, Chad?
I just saw the alert come up. So
how did Brady get it, bro?
I don't know.
And he's retiring. You should at least get a man the MVP on the way out. Like, Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year. I told you. You said Jonathan Taylor. And Jonathan Taylor ain't beating out the Triple Crown winner.
Deebo Samuel was the best player. Period.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Rodgers, yeah, Rodgers won it.
Rodgers won it. I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. I can't wait for him to get out the NFC North, man, with his funny looking. Man, I can't stand Aaron Rodgers, bro.
Hey,
I'm telling you, if I seen him on the street, I'd probably put him in a headlock.
Hey, Dose. I I know you think that's funny, but the way you do lists around here, I think Jimmy might be top 10. What you think?
Oh,
Just joking, man.
we're gonna get onto that Monday.
Yeah, you
on
are.
this
I'm curious
channel.
to see what you. Oh my
On this
gosh.
channel, we're gonna be talking about these top 10 quarterbacks.
I'm excited. Dose. Now do some thinking over the weekend. All right. Again, I don't want to put you on blast here. Do some thinking. Think it through over the weekend. Realize that you're wrong and come up with something different. I'm just back
Whew.
off of it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Lord Jesus. When he said that, I really about passed out. One of my eyes rolled back into my head and everything. Like,
Getting hot
wait a
flashes.
minute. Like, Goffle? Top 10? Stop.
He says, "Oh, on your channel, let's get it."
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Listen, don't. Yeah. Anyways, all right, y'all. Listen, hey,
It was fun.
It was fun. Next week, we're going to do our mock draft. So we'll do it for the Lions and the 49ers. We'll do it all together. We'll choose both teams. It'll be a fun time. We might even step on each other's toes. Maybe you'll take some.
No, we're going to draft together. Remember, we're a unit. We're going to draft.
Don't do that anymore. We're done with that. Oh my God. All right, y'all. Hit the like button, subscribe. We appreciate each and every one of you. Have a blessed weekend. Stay safe. And I'll be back. It sounds like these guys will be back Monday with some Lions content, talking about 10 best quarterbacks in the league. I'll be back with a draft profile on Monday. And then we'll be back at it again Tuesday and through the rest of the week. So y'all have a great night. Stay blessed and enjoy your weekend.